Hold on. Hey, y'all.
What's going on, yo? It's your get here, Mr. Logic. We apologize for the inconvenience. I know we said we were going to start at 8:30. We just want to say thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure this is your first time that you hit that subscribe and like button. And, we about to get in it today, man. And today, I got my lovely co-host with me. So allow me to introduce them. We got our lovely
Tiastomy.
Yeah, it's me. It's Nate.
All right. And we also got...
Yo, it's your boy, Sir Daniel. You already know what it is. Find me on Instagram.
And we got our boy Lewis on the 1 and O's right now, our engineer doing an impeccable job right now. We got a treat for y'all, man. I hope y'all weekend's going pretty well. I know everyone's been getting good news for the intro for 2023, man. It seems like a lot of things are taking off and whatnot. So a quick segment, man. Ben, how's your day going so far, my G?
The day's been pretty chilling. I decided I'd stop masturbating. So
I'm with you right there.
Been going pretty good.
Going pretty good. I'm miserable.
Yeah. No,
Round of applause.
Because
I had a whole mouth drop.
Your brain just gets sharper. Actually, crazy thing about it, ever since I've given up like masturbating, because it used to be that whenever I'd go on, there's a lot of like sexual shit, right? Like innuendo type deal on everywhere you go, right? So I'd be on YouTube, and in the thumbnail, every thumbnail is always just some chick with her tits out or showing her ass or something, right? And whenever the old me, I'd see it, I'd be like, damn, now I gotta fucking beat my dick. And now I just look at it and I just go like, I am no longer horny. I'm not horny anymore.
Guys, I don't know if this
happy.
is being satire or not.
No, I'm being serious.
You're being serious?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be real with you, yo. Not to go on topic, man. I try to stay away from. I try to go away from pornographic videos because afterwards, I just feel dirty.
Yeah, dude. I don't watch porn anymore. I make it.
Oh. Okay.
Nate, please, y'all go ahead and join up for Ben's OnlyFans. He does have an OnlyFans, and remember,
I'm not gonna charge anybody. I'm just posting it straight to X video. It's free.
$20 is $20.
True. It's free. It is free, forever confined. I won't tell you the name.
All right, wow. Nate, how's your day going so far, love?
Well, I just got out of class, and I'm still highly debating whether I should finish school or not. I mean, I will, but I'm gonna complain while I do it. You know what I mean?
Fair enough. What about you? What about you, T? What's going on with you, love?
I had a great day. Today was busy. Tax season is in, but other than that, I've had a great day.
Okay, well, it's been good, yo. I ended up getting the job offer that I applied for, so I'm thankful.
Round of applause!
Right.
Round of applause!
I'm excited on to new knowledge and new training and new endeavors on my career choices.
We love that for you.
So, as we get into it, Nate's gonna read us off. We're gonna do a story of "Am I the Asshole?" So please, Nate, bring us into that.
Right off the bat, showing some of that reading comprehension.
Yeah, I definitely want to know your opinion on this after, guys, because okay, so am I the asshole for hosting?
Hold on. I'm sorry to cut you off. We're not broadcasting.
There we are.
You sure? I don't.
You're doing this on the live, bro. On the live.
Yeah, because I'm
on the low.
It's not showing up on my phone. I apologize, guys. I just want to make sure that we're good.
I mean, you're looking at it.
There's a comment that says yes, you are.
Okay, great. So it's me.
Probably your horrible connection.
Indeed,
you're showing your age.
Oh, you guys are just tearing into me, huh?
It's Android.
Dun, dun, dun.
Right. Continue.
Anyways, okay. Am I the asshole for hosting an alternative reception for my daughter's vegan and alcohol-free wedding? My daughter and her fiance are planning on having a vegan and alcohol-free wedding, which caused an uproar within our family. Many of our family members and friends are meat eaters and enjoy having a drink or two, and they feel uncomfortable and unaccustomed to the restrictions being imposed on them. They feel like they won't be able to fully enjoy the wedding and that it is not a true representation of who they are. I understand my daughter's choices and I respect them, but I also want to make sure that everyone feels comfortable and happy. After much discussion with family and friends, I decided to host an alternative reception at home where meat and alcohol are going to be served for those who are unhappy with my daughter's reception. I made it clear that there is an optional event and that everyone was welcome to attend or not. Many guests are choosing to attend the alternative reception instead of my daughter's reception, which is making her feel completely distraught and angry. She thinks that I have disrespected her and her partner's choices and is accusing me of trying to sabotage her wedding. I told her that this is not the case and that I am simply trying to provide the wedding guests with more options. She insists that I should have supported her decision and made sure that everyone was comfortable with it. My daughter is threatening to disinvite me and my husband from the wedding if I don't cancel the alternative reception, and I am now unsure if I am doing the right thing. I want to make sure that everyone is happy, but I also don't want to create an unnecessary rift with my daughter. Am I the asshole for hosting an alternative reception?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
This
You wanna
is
take-
this is
So
a tricky one, guys.
it's want to know why I don't think that she's the asshole. I
Hmm.
think the daughter is the okay. Here's the thing. I think the daughter is the asshole, but it's her wedding, so she's allowed to impose whatever rules that she wants
Yeah.
on it. But here's the thing. She's allowed to impose whatever rules she wants, but she cannot force people to fucking show up and participate in it.
She's not forcing anyone.
But she literally is, because she's saying, "Hey, mom, get rid of that. I want these people to come to this shit, even though I fucking know these guys don't like veganism. They want to eat meat and drink alcohol at this wedding because that's what people go to weddings to do."
But no, see, this is why I disagree. Number one, this is a union of their love. This is something that they plan, and this is how they express themselves. And the reason why I say yes, she's the asshole.
Yeah.
This is not about the people. This is a celebration of their love and how they want to
Yeah.
celebrate. You need to be supportive and understand that and respect that. That's the whole entitlement issue I see coming from the mother. For you to basically throw another reception is disrespectful to the blessing that they're bringing amongst themselves. So it's like, yo, if I'm throwing a party, right? And I say, well, I only like Corona and Bud Light. That's what I'm offering. If you don't like it, don't show up.
And that's what the people are doing, though.
What do you mean that's what the people are doing?
They're not showing up to the vegan reception. They're going to the meat eating reception.
Yeah.
Because you're giving, okay, and I'm being 100. If that's the case, I rather them let that be the choice. But giving them an alternative is like giving them an out. And that's how I look. Play your position. Just be supportive. It's not basically, because here's the thing. You're trying to accommodate your guests, and I understand that.
No,
But
they're not trying to accommodate
The
them.
mother's trying to accommodate the guests.
I have a question though,
Mhm.
but I know we probably don't know it. But is this like a traditional wedding where the father of the bride has to pay for it? Because if so, the mother is probably like, since we're paying for it anyways, I'm going to be happy.
That's a good
and
question.
I'm going to eat meat and I'm going to have a drink.
But I still feel it's disrespectful in the sense to the groom and the bride. If that's what they
The
want,
broom.
Because he's getting swept away.
the groom, what do you call him?
The groom.
The groom. Oh, yeah, sorry.
Oh my
It's been a
god.
long day. It's been a long day. But what I'm saying is, though, and this is me just spitting out my opinion. It's like, yo, dog, just respect it. And then you know what? It shows you exactly who their friends and family is. You know how many times there's times that I may not agree with what my friends are doing, but I'm there to support.
No, I
I'm
mean,
not there to
agree.
basically be beneficial to the situation, and I think that needs to be respected.
so I think I don't mean to cut you up, but I think they are supporting them if they actually go to the ceremony, right, and witness the vows and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
If they go to that one, that's the done deal, right? The reception is just a cherry on the
Yeah, like
cake,
a
right?
party.
it's the
So, like,
celebration.
No, I mean, yeah.
I mean,
But imagine, how can you really celebrate? Because a celebration is supposed to be a good time, right?
Mhm.
How can you really celebrate it if you're going there knowing that it's gonna fucking suck?
I see, but
Well,
that's go ahead, love.
Well, if I was one of the guests,
Yeah.
or if I was the mom and my daughter was in that situation, I would probably bring your own or pre-game before. Being
Well,
that
yeah.
I would show support,
BYOB.
Yeah, but
BYOB,
pre-game,
but I
yeah.
would bring my own bottle. I have my own little cup,
Right,
you
but
know.
who knows
I might.
how these people feel about
Yeah.
BYOB?
Yeah,
But
But how would they
I
know you
don't know.
BYOB
No,
if you
but
bring your
it-
own little cup with Mr. and Mrs. on it?
It's like, but like, why go that extra step of
To be
doing-
supportive.
Like, I mean, I get that, but you don't think that it would be like, it would have been a better move on the bride's thing, like, instead of restricting this, just saying like, hey, look, even though I don't fuck with it, I'm gonna make it so that everybody can enjoy it to the fullest, and we'll have meat options or like alcohol
to
or
me,
Wait, I have a question. You think, okay, because this also plays into forcing other people onto like your lifestyle.
Mhm.
And I get it. It's
Yeah,
your
yeah.
wedding, you paid for the food and all of that.
yeah,
It's okay. No meat, uproar. But you know what? Open bar. Compromise.
like no alcohol, dude. Like,
because
no
the
alcohol. I
maybe the married couple can choose not to drink, but you obviously have to eat. So if like maybe there a compromise because you are throwing away all this money. I don't want to say throwing away. Sorry, I meant like spending all this money on a wedding, and you want it to be like be like a good time, I guess. But also really think that if you have food options and drink options that your people are not gonna like, are you sure you're gonna have a good time? Because probably everyone's gonna be complaining.
Or like, what are people gonna remember your wedding for? Oh,
Right.
she was forcing vegan food on us, and there was
but you see, but what you guys are saying, you're talking about how you feel. This is support for them, and that's how I look at it. I'm not saying you're wrong.
No, I just think it's a power trip.
But I wouldn't even call it a power trip. It's like, yo, and I'm saying this from experience, like helping friends prepare for a wedding. Like, if that's what they want, they're basically inviting you to enjoy their love, their style, their world. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. And to say that, oh, but it's gonna be boring, like, yo, dog, that to me is foul. Like, yo, it's called making a sacrifice. You're sacrificing what you want to support the people that you love.
Yeah.
And when you have a mother stepping in saying, oh, well, I'm gonna give an alternative, you're giving an out, and it's like, yo, that's disrespectful. That's like me throwing a party and you throwing a party out of spite on the same day. It's like, yo, what happened to us just being supportive? You know how many times that we gone places, we may not like the menu, but we go there for what? To be supportive and be there for those people. So to have the mindset and be like, oh, but to have the mindset and be like, oh, well, it's kind of fucked up to not have liquor. Well, there might be things that, you know, we don't know at the end of the day because we're not in a situation, but let's say there's been history of problems with alcohol. There's been problems with, you know, people gouging, and maybe it's not affordable. We don't know the situation. And that's where people who do things like that, I find it disrespectful. You don't have to like it, but at least respect it, my G. This is a celebration of their love. Yeah. For you to basically go out of that, you're out of pocket, in my opinion. You're clearly out of pocket because it's not about how I feel. It's not about what makes me feel happy. We're talking about them. This is a day dedicated to them, a symbol for their love. And the fact that you as a mother to make that route, I'm not saying fuck the guests, but they made it clear, okay, it's a vegan thing. They didn't have to register and basically confirm that they were going to go. You made that decision on your own. Now you're basically being an irritant because the way I look at it, it's like a slap to the face. This is my wedding. This is the effort that I put into it. Why can't you respect my decisions as a wholesome person?
So here's the thing. If I were in that situation, right, I go to a wedding, I find out that's vegan and no alcohol, right? And legitimately, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to the wedding ceremony. You will not see me at the reception because I don't have to be there. But because I support and respect you, I'm going to go to the wedding ceremony. I'm going to throw the rice. I'm going to do all that stuff. As soon as that's over, I'm out.
But I feel like that's kind of hypocritical to say.
I don't see it.
I mean, I understand Ben's point of view because it's like at the end of the day, we all have our choices, and we like, you know, yes, I'm going to celebrate your love and be there for you and support you at the ceremony. But obviously, the reception is like the cherry on top, the celebration of your love.
Yeah.
But if he is not comfortable with the situation, he doesn't want to go. Nobody can force him or anybody to go to the reception for that matter.
And the thing is like this, right? I try to see it because maybe we don't know, but imagine, right? This is happening in another state, and you have to fly out. Now you're paying like hundreds of dollars to fly out somewhere, right? To stay somewhere for a couple of days, what have you? You're spending all this money, then to sit at a ceremony for who knows how long, like 2-3 hours. I don't know how long.
Yeah,
2-3 hours, right? And then on top of that, so you don't eat during the ceremony, right? You don't eat, you're thirsty, you're starving, right? And then you got to go to a wedding reception, and the food is fucking bean burgers and water.
I'm not disagreeing. What I'm saying is that is selfish.
But you don't think that's selfish of the bride?
No, because it's their day. I mean, it's their day. It's what they want to do. I'm not a factor in that. Yeah. I'm there to support. And that's where I don't understand. I get what you're saying about the meat, but I think that's like almost entitlement on something that honestly has nothing to do with you. You're there to be supportive. Yeah. It's not about how you feel. It's not about what you want. It's about supporting the people celebrating their life in the manner that they want to do it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You're not going to fucking go to a bar mitzvah and start eating shit that goes against their religion, right? You're going to be supportive. Why? Because you understand that's what they do. That's how they go about it. And that's the thing. We have to respect that as people, because I feel like if you're going to be like on some shit, well, nigga, it doesn't benefit me. How genuine are you really being?
I would say that even you can respect it, but you don't have to participate in it. I don't think that makes you a bad person for not wanting to participate either.
I'm not saying you're a bad person for not participating.
I don't think it's disrespectful either, because it's like, yo, look, respectfully, like, that's fine, that's cool. It's vegan, no alcohol, that's fine. I was there for the wedding ceremony. Yo, I think I'm gonna just hit up. Maybe I'll stick around for the reception for a bit to say my piece to the bride, or like if someone has a speech or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm not sticking around.
But you're talking as a guest. What we're basically focused on is the fact that what the mother did.
No, yeah, what the mother did is like
was clearly out of pocket, in my opinion.
But it was out of pocket to the daughter. But I can see that the mother recognized that the daughter was being out of pocket to the guests. And I get it. That's the daughter's day. Because she's essentially forcing the guests who paid however much money to get there. And on top of that, for the registry and all that, you know, because like the way I see it's like this. Even though it's your day, right? And everyone's supposed to focus on you, I think that it's not too bad an idea to give thanks back to the guests for coming in. Open bar, right? A variety of food. I think that if you're telling them, hey, yo, you have to come in, right, to my ceremony, and you have to sit here for hours, and then you have to eat the food and the drinks I give to you,
but you keep
and you're gonna enjoy
you
it.
have to. It's all voluntary.
No, you're absolutely right. And so I don't think it's underhanded if they're like, hey, look, I'm just gonna go with the better option.
What do you think, T?
So thanks. So yeah, like I was gonna say, as a wife or like as a bride, you know, when you have your wedding, you do plan to accommodate your guests. It's not just trying to force your issues, your morals, or your thoughts onto your guests. You're supposed to want to accommodate your guests because they're coming there to support you and to support your love. They're paying their money to come stay wherever you're staying.
Spending their time.
They're spending their time. They're coming out of their way. Not only that, but they also have probably bought you gifts for your wedding, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden you're telling me when I come there, I'm going to get salad, deviled eggs. I mean, that's it? No, you can't do that. Wait, hold on, Jason. I'm saying this as a person with parties. When you go to a party, when you're throwing a party, you do think of your guest. You don't just think of yourself and be like, oh, I'm going to throw this party and I'm going to get everything that I like. No, you're going to think of your guests and be like, you know what? I like this, but my guests might like white liquor, or I might like brown liquor. Some might not like no liquor. We might need to have a smoking hookah lounge over here for the ones that, you know, do hookah, so everyone can enjoy their time and it be a great celebration. It's something memorable. This is going to be memorable for people saying it was horrible.
Reasons. Yeah, I mean, like
the mom is actually trying to create a good memory for her child, and especially if she's paying and she's not vegan. Imagine you having a daughter. You're paying for your daughter's wedding.
Okay.
You're paying for everything. Yeah, you support your daughter, but I bet you would have split that menu to have half meat, half vegan.
Or at least in the back of your head, you're thinking, like,
I might
damn,
have
I wish I had this.
but what I'm saying is, you both just said, yo, you're going out there, you're paying for the flight, you're basically, you know, you're getting gifts. To me, that's like holding a receipt over somebody's head.
No, it's not.
If
I'm doing it.
I mean,
if I may. The reason why I say it's like holding the receipt over someone's head, listen to what you guys just said. Because you basically go out your way, you took an expensive flight, if that was the case, and you bought them gifts, you feel entitled to basically be compensated in the sense to be assisted to the things that you like. No, that's not how this works.
No, that's how you heard it. How we were saying it is, if we're coming out and we're showing you all this love and support, you could at least been accommodating for us. You should be accommodating for your guests. That's why they're called guests. It's hospitality. That's all we're asking for.
Because literally, we're coming out here for this. That's the way I see it. It's not like, yo, I like, because it's vegan and no alcohol, fuck these niggas. It's like,
I agree with Ben. If that's the case, you shouldn't have had a reception. You should have just had a wedding and said, okay, everyone, thank you for coming. Please enjoy. Or either pick a restaurant where it's vegan and whatever else and be like, we're going to celebrate
I'm
here.
still going to go and support.
Right.
But it's like, I'm going to feel like I just got backhanded because like I went all the way out there. And I'm not, is it really expecting much to have good food and drinks?
That's what every wedding consists of. That's what they talk
about. At the end of the day, this is considered like, you know, a party mixed in with celebration of love. And if you are throwing an event and a party and you're having guests over, and let's say you did not do your research on like what the interests of these guests are, like the type of drinks and the type of food they eat, if you do no research and you just serve whatever accommodates you and yourself, do not be surprised if afterwards there is an uproar, if people are complaining, because okay, you are free to choose to do whatever you want with your reception. It is your wedding. Of course you can do whatever you want, but you have to accept the consequences that comes after that, with people complaining. You know, maybe these are your close family and friends. Maybe they'll stay bitter afterward. You have to think long term. So, you know, there are no rules to how to throw a reception. It really just depends on the people going. If they are very, you know, they're like, you know what? Okay, we'll take the vegan food and we'll take the non-alcohol. It's okay. If they're like that, then cool. Yeah. But if you know that your close friends and family are very picky, and you know that they're meat eaters and they love alcohol, and you're still choosing to throw a reception that has none of that, don't be surprised.
Not too many people are going to come.
Like, don't be surprised if they don't come, or if they do come, if there is an uproar. And then let's say at the end, you're like, damn, I kind of wish it went better. I can't believe they complain, this and that. It's like, this is just human behavior. Like, cause and effect,
because like my thing is like, what does she get out of it by forcing these people to do this?
You keep saying the word force.
I mean, but it literally is, because like check, I mean, but
you pay for the food in advance.
Not even that, right? The reason why I say force, right? Because yes, the mother, she's throwing the alternative, right? And the daughter is requesting her that she doesn't do that. So now that the people no longer have that option, because they care and respect about this woman, and they care about her day and it's special, literally because of their love for her, they have their hands tied. Because even though you can't say, it's all right if you don't show up because it's your choice, no one wants to be the asshole on someone's wedding day. They're not gonna just be like, oh yeah, there was vegan and water, fuck that. No one's actually gonna do that, but it's gonna be in the back of their mind, right? So when you're saying like they have the out, the way that I see it is, because they have the out, people are going to be more willing to deal with the veganism and the non-alcohol, because they know that they'll just be able to go and get meat and alcohol later, you know? So I think if they have that option, it's more likely that it'll go in the bride's favor of people remembering it for the beauty and the love and the, you know, the matrimony, rather than veganism and the water. Because I don't think there's anything wrong with veganism. I know there is fucking delicious vegan food, right? But the thing is, not everybody knows, and not everybody is willing to explore that, right? And I don't think it's the right thing to do, to hold somebody emotionally hostage, because that's essentially what it is. If you only have the if you do this, right? What I mean by that, right? Because I can see your face is confused. Like I said before, because you love this person and you respect this person, you're going to show up to it and you're going to deal with it.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean by holding them emotionally hostage, because they don't want to do this, but they're going to do it because they love you. Does that make sense? Yeah. So I don't think that's okay to use that against someone in order for them to participate in something for you.
But
I see what you mean.
I hear what you're saying. But it goes back to what I said. It's the existence of the situation itself. What I'm hearing you guys say, and I'm not saying I honestly don't agree with you guys, because I gone to weddings that were vegan, and forget my personal side. Just call a spade, right? The purpose of it is, this is their day.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And yes, if they want to do vegan, I'm there to support this one day. This is not, and when you say force, it's not force, because again, like you said, if you don't want to go, you don't go. But that's basically what being a good friend is. That's what being a good supportive person that loves the other person is. It's taking that sacrifice because you're there for a bigger person. a bigger reason. You're there to represent and be supportive of them, despite the fact you may not like the fact there's no meat. You may not like the fact there's no liquor, but that has nothing to do with the reception. The reception is a celebration of actually completing the journey of actually taking two people and making them one. So me, the way I look at it, I'm there to basically be represented for them and be as supportive as I can, despite how I feel. Because this is not something that was planned for me. This is something that has nothing to do with me.
Right.
This is something that I was invited to. And I was thought of when I was invited to it. And as a man or as a woman, the way I view it is like, yo, what happened to being back in the day, just being supportive, whether you like it or not? To say hostage, it's like, yo, that sounds selfish as fuck to me. Because in reality, it's like, well, what about how I want to eat or what I interest in? This is not about you. No, this is not about you. Yes, you want to compensate the guests, but you compensate them in your way because it is your day. It is your wedding. I'm not saying I agree with the vegan, but for the mom to do that, what that creates spitefulness between the relationship of the daughter and the mother, because this is the one day that the daughter has, her day, that is designated for her, and you create an irritant by basically going behind her back and doing that shit. To me, that is completely uncalled for and disrespectful. How dare you? This is not your wedding. This is not what you agreed on. This is what they agreed on. And you being a loving person and supportive and being the loving person that you have for them, for you to do that, that is you being the asshole. That is you being inconsiderate. Yeah. Because when you gave that outlet, what you did, you caused a rift. It's like, yo, to me, if I was in that situation, it's like, yo, you disrespected me. You made an ass of me because you're out of pocket. Yeah. This is what I set up. This is what I planned. How dare you go around and give an outlet? If people don't want to join, that's cool. That's just what it is. But for a mother to do that, yo, imagine if that's the groom's mother doing that. You just created a problem for the husband that just became a husband and the wife that just became because you decided to compensate guests. The focus is on them. It's not focused on the guest at the end of the day. It's a celebration of their love, of their unity. Fuck all the bullshit, bro. And that's why I feel like, yo, that is a selfish mentality to have because there's no liquor and there's no meat. This is one day out your life. This is not them forcing you to do that shit every day. This is one day, a celebration designated to them. And if you can't understand that and you feel some type of way, I don't think you're a genuine person. That's just me being honest.
What literally, again, everything that you're saying, again, it's just describing holding someone emotionally hostage. But I mean, honestly, it literally is, and I get it. I get what you're saying, but you also have to understand that people should be able to hold on to their autonomy. And I get it. You know, you want to celebrate someone's love, and to be there is the ultimate thing. Because the best thing you can do is just be there, right? And I don't think it's a bad thing to wanna to accommodate your guests. I get it. Like I get it. It's your wedding. It's your day. But you know, like I don't think that it's necessarily okay to be as selfish as you want and essentially force this on someone, even if it's just one day. What do you gain out of forcing this onto the people?
You saying
I get what you mean, but because that's what thinking on it,
because you have no other option, right? You literally have no other option.
Okay, wait, think of it. So a reception happens after the ceremony. This alternative reception, is it happening at the same time as the original reception? Because if it is, then yeah, she's the asshole. Because it's like, okay, you're throwing an alternative reception. Agreed. Is it at the same time as your daughter's reception? We don't know. We're just assuming. Yeah, because obviously the story wasn't clear. But thinking on it, it's like, okay, then yes, you are the asshole for throwing an alternative reception at the same time as your daughter's.
If it's at the same time, it's fucked up. If it's at the same time, it's fucked up.
Let me ask you this.
That's what I can agree on.
It's like a couple that throws a wedding in another country.
Yeah.
Some people are like, oh, that's fucked up. Why couldn't they throw it here? Well, the truth of the matter is, I don't see it fucked up.
I don't see it as fucked up either.
But that kind of, and I'm not trying to come up, but that sounds hypocritical because what about the people who can't afford to go over there? What about the people who can't? You see how you just want what it is?
It is what it is.
And it's the same thing that applies to this situation.
But you're right. You're absolutely right.
Are you going to say that they're holding those people hostage because they can't afford it? No, that's just what it is, right?
No, so with that instance, right? If they physically cannot go there because of a paywall, I don't think, right, you should bend the knee to where you want destination wise, because that's bigger than food. And that's the way that I see it. These are, even though it falls under the same thing of a wedding, the destination and the food that's served, those are two vastly different things.
But what I understand, they're vastly different, but we got to roll on. So final thoughts.
I think that I'm gonna say it again. I don't think it's okay to hold people emotionally hostage. I don't think it's okay that because you know someone loves and cares for you, to put them in a situation that is overall going to be a raw deal for them. I think that there should be some compromise in regards to that. I don't think that just because it's a wedding that it allows you to force things on the people. And I'm gonna keep saying force because, like if you go something with no other option, essentially and you're not gonna bow out. Essentially, it's just being forced to me because I'll do it anyway. But I'm be like, damn, dude, fuck. So and the thing for the mom, if it was done after the reception, she's just trying to help the people out. If it was done at the same time, fuck that bitch. Man, that's how it goes. But if it's after, the daughter can't get mad if people enjoy it more, bro, because she pretty much put her thumb up their butt.
Final thoughts?
This story has definitely not want to say touchy subject, but it's very
It's in the air. It's in the air.
There's not a lot of details. If it was at the same time as her daughter's reception, yes, she is the asshole. That is very messed up. It's honestly a case by case. I've never been married. I don't know what it's like to throw a wedding party, a reception. I can only imagine how difficult it is to throw a party and, buy like the food and order all that stuff. But like I said, these are your close friends and family. You kind of have a understanding of what it is that they like and their interests. It's really a case by case
type situation.
So honestly, not a lot of details on that story.
T, final thoughts.
My final thoughts is that I feel like the mom might have slight assholish ways, but the daughter definitely has slight assholish ways. If it was me, I'm gonna definitely pregame before I get there. I'll still support you. But if I'm coming to a vegan and a non-alcoholic wedding, I'm definitely pre-gaming before before I get there. So I'm eating before I get there, and I'm definitely bringing a little swig with me. It's just how it's going.
Final thoughts. Honestly, the way I look at it, man, I'm there to support, despite what I may not like or what I like. I'm there to support the union of love and be the best guest I can be.
Yeah,
and that's it. So, on to the next one. Next topic. When do you know it's time to give up in a relationship? I want the women to take this one. T, I'll let you take this one off.
Me, I'm gonna say it's time to give up when I'm fed up, when I feel like I've reached a brick wall. Like it's nothing else that I can do here. It's no more work that I could put into it. I don't see you putting in efforts to try to change anything on your behalf. So once we've hit that brick wall, it's a wrap. It's time to go our separate ways.
Okay. Nate?
When it's time to give up in a relationship, I know that when your relationship, love can definitely blind you, as some may say. You let your emotions cloud your judgment. And people who realize when it's too late, normally when your partner's like cheating, or they're emotionally or physically abusing you, or it could just be that the love is fading and you are no longer interested in that person. For a lot of us, when it's time to like give up in a relationship, a lot of people will end it like in that moment that they realize it, or they'll drag on the relationship for like months.
True.
Ben?
I mean, I guess I can say that I would have to go with what T was saying. It feels like you're talking to like a brick wall. Like it doesn't feel like, I would say it's over when it doesn't feel like you're reaching like your words are reaching the person. Like what's the word, that they are okay. When someone feels like there's no more room to grow, they will begin to get set in their ways, and it'll just stagnant, and it'll just cause more friction, right? So let's say that you get into more arguments over nonsense, right? If you're trying to communicate with them, there isn't much going on. So like, I guess in the modern era, it'll be like one word replies, or like they're leaving you on red, or like they're always flaking on plans, or they're not emotionally available and things of that nature, So I would say that it's time to give up when you feel like because a relationship is like a race, like a two-legged race when you're running it like that. So it when it feels like you're pulling all the weight.
Can I add something?
Yeah.
It's also time to give up when like you can't stand the way the person breathe anymore or chew anymore.
God.
Like once it gets to that, like they're in the house and they're sitting across the table and you be like, oh my God, I can't stand the way this person eat anymore. Oh, why stay in my personal space?
That's
like
different for me personally, because
that's like time to go.
You can love them so much and you can still be bothered.
No, yeah,
by
like
how they
because
do
like
that.
it's really easy to bother me. I get annoyed like really. So like because
look at his face.
So like when my partner has like little annoying traits, I overlook like annoying traits.
No, not annoying.
Flags.
Like at first it was cute. You get what I'm saying? Like at first you're like, oh my God, it's so cute. But then you start noticing like once you don't like that person and y'all's chemistry is not the same, it's like no matter what this person, like why is he looking like that?
Bro, it was never
like
cute how you
why yeah it's like why
No,
are you chewing like
I
that?
feel
Like you don't even chew with your mouth closed. Like you start paying attention to the stuff and be like, why didn't I notice this?
Yeah. It's because
you let your emotions cloud like your judgment.
I know that I'm annoying. Like I know that I'm annoying, so like when I
noticing the way they snore and be like, oh my God, he snores so loud. I don't even want to lay in the same bed with him anymore.
I
gotta go.
What do you think, Jason? Go ahead.
I think when it's time to give up in a relationship is when you're at the point where you start losing yourself. And the reason why I say that, man, in relationships, I think sometimes we forget, and I said it before, our partners get sick, man. And I'm not talking flu-like sick. Life is very real for all of us. Life is different for women. Life is different for men. And a lot of times, new behaviors could become new constant behaviors and set in their ways. But at least for me, speaking as a man, I don't like to give up. I always try to find a solution. It's a scary thought when you're giving up because it's like, a lot of work's put into that relationship. You understand what I'm saying?
Get your time back.
And you're never going to get your time back. But when I feel like it's time to honestly give up in the relationship is when you become a threat to yourself. Not so much when the person becomes a threat to you, but a threat to yourself, because at the end of the day, we allow ourselves to feel. You get what I'm saying? We allow those emotions. Just like when they show you who you are, it's up to you to believe it or not. Love has a way of making us blind and put up with so much things that we wouldn't do if we were honestly thinking straight. It's just, it's a delicate topic because there's always like, some people find it easy. Me personally, I don't see how you could find it easy, but some people do. It's just, it's a communication skill, like I said it before. I always compare it to like a fight. You get what I'm saying? And this is for the viewers to say this is something that I notice with not all women, but the main difference with men versus women.
Misogyny time. Misogyny.
Yeah, if you want to call it that, call it whatever you want. It's like, okay, imagine a fight, right? A relationship is essentially a fight. And when you get together, that's you ruining the championship belt. But I think a lot of times we forget, once you get that belt, you still got to defend the title now.
So,
and because
are you fighting together or against each other?
No, forget together.
Okay.
That's literally when you get together, you become one. That's like winning the championship, but you got to defend that title.
Right.
And I find that in most cases in the stories that I see with modern women and in cases with men too, they're not willing to defend the belt because they already acquired the belt. And that's where shit starts going sideways. You get what I'm saying? You gotta, you work hard for it. It's a full-time job. You don't get to call out. You don't get to call sick. You have to stay pushing forward. You got to be dedicated. You got to be willing to go down with the ship. The problem where I say you call it quits is when you realize you're the only one willing to go down with the ship.
True.
You get what I'm saying? That's when I say, it's time to cut loose. And it's never a good feeling either. Like I heard you say when, you don't like the way they breathe or the way they chew. A lot of times love will make us put up with a lot of stuff that we would have never done originally. And that's how crazy love is. Like, to me, love is like love. That emotion alone is almost like drinking liquor. It impairs your ability to operate and think rationally.
Yeah.
And it's literally a fight with yourself when it comes to calling it quits. Because a lot of times, at least for me and other individuals I speak for, when they call it quit, it tears them apart because nobody wants to quit. But you also don't want to put your life in the balance. You don't want to be like the saying, the one who cares the least in a relationship holds the most power.
Yeah.
True.
You get what I'm saying? And that's something to think about. And when you realize that person holds that much power, that's another signal and another, sign to call it quits. Because if the person's not reciprocating the effort and the love that you're putting in, you're only damaging yourself because you're prolonging something that is inevitable. And that's when I feel like it's time to call it quits.
Honestly, like in the comments, du jour, I hope I pronounced it correctly, mentioned it shouldn't get to that. You're right. It shouldn't get to that point, but unfortunately, sometimes it does. I know that I had a friend who like always had the same fight with her significant other, like over and over. It was through the course of like a year. And it came to the point where every time that subject was brought up, it was either just dismissed, made them feel some type of way. And it got to a point where that slowly started trickling like into
it becomes resentment.
Resentment. And then all of a sudden, slowly but surely, you hate the way they chew. You hate the way that they breathe.
Resentment is real.
And then eventually you start losing that spark. And then eventually one word replies. Or you're flaking on plans, or you are with them and you wish you were somewhere else. And it's like those things where you realize, okay, this like the communication sucks. We can't seem to get over this one singular fight that we're having. And then,
it do be like that, Dejour. It do be what it do be, honestly, bro. So like the worst feeling in the world is realizing when you know that it's over. Like I think both partners feel it. Right. But the worst feeling in the world is when you just feel it yourself. And
keeping it real with yourself is painful, bro.
And like you're with this person, you're like, damn.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to break this motherfucker's heart, huh? I mean, if you're the kind of dog that'll do that, because there are people that'll just and even though I haven't done this, this hasn't happened to me, but there are people that they don't want to be with you anymore. They'll just fucking ghost you. You could have been dating for like a year or whatever, and they'll just fucking vanish.
I think the worst is when you're in a relationship and the person honestly uses your emotions as weapons against you.
I don't know how people can do that.
Honestly,
sometimes
hurt people.
Yeah, sometimes it's not even intentional. Sometimes it's just how that's just how you communicate. You're not even. I'm not saying that because there are people who are aware of it, but then there are also a smaller group of people who aren't aware that they're emotionally manipulating their partner, because they just think that
in very rare cases.
They just think that, that's just how they were doing it in the past. And that's just how they continue. Sometimes people don't learn from their mistakes. Yeah, they're just not self-aware. Some just don't learn.
Okay. So final thoughts on
that. And they blame the world. Suck your mother, rude boy rasclat. Yeah.
Nate, final thoughts. Nate, your final thoughts.
Anyways, it's very unfortunate when you start to see that you're losing interest in that current relationship. Many of us have either gone through that, have had friends who have been through that. Honestly, I think what du jour said is I think people should just take their time in choosing their partners. That's why things like that occur. Honestly, yeah. Because you should take your time to get to know your partner, or like JCF30 said, ignore the red flags, because come on, guys.
Naturally, we do.
They be looking kind of orange sometimes.
Cautious instead of look the other way. Do you guys really ignore all the red flags when you start talking
I always
to someone?
say I don't believe in red flags because I'm a red flag myself. I always try to understand it.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, there are some red flags that I think the notion of red flags is starting to get out of hand because people are just using those as excuses instead of
defense.
Yeah, instead of learning more about their partner to try and unravel what's going on. They're just like, red flag. I'm out.
That's what I'm saying.
Human
No one's going.
beings are complicated,
you know?
guys.
Yeah,
You know,
that's what I'm saying. Like no one's willing to go down with the ship. T, your final thoughts?
My final thoughts are, you know, when it's time to get out the relationship, when, like you said, you lose more than yourself, and when you feel like you've hit that brick wall. If you see yourself then came to that dead end, you've tried everything, you gave this 110%, 100%, whatever percent is your majority of you giving. If you feel like you gave that and you're getting nothing in return, it's no growth, it's nothing, no potential there that you could see anything happening in the next 3 to 4 months, like cut it loose, let it go.
Dejur says being understanding is a good thing, Jason. He fucks with that.
Yeah.
Chad says losing love is like losing a puzzle piece. Might still see
Yes.
the picture, but we got holes. You're absolutely right on that
Ooh,
one.
I like
that's a good
that.
one.
Bars, my dude. Bars.
Period.
I will say
Bars.
this.
Good job, Chad.
When it comes down to that, bro, when it comes to ending that relationship, if you are at the point where you're no longer asking yourself what if, you have your answer.
Yeah.
But if you have a point in your life where you're dealing with that person and you feel you're going to make this decision to end it, but there's going to be a what if factor, then you haven't been real with yourself. I'll say it to that.
So, yo, tell me about this, Jay. So you guys were talking about this earlier. Apparently, the trans community is pissed off with Aretha Franklin.
Hold on, we're gonna get into that. We have one more.
I mean, we can just like jump around, you know. That one's pretty interesting.
Actually, you know what? We can pull up the video. Let's show it.
It's gone. Remember, they took it down.
It got taken down. That's right. So, if anyone you remember, yeah. All right.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, okay. You make me feel like a natural woman.
Right.
Came out 1968, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And the trans community is trying to get her awards and her accomplishments revoked because they said it's offensive to the trans community.
Okay, give me a lyric in that song that's offensive.
You make me feel like a natural
That
woman.
is-
Literally the word natural.
Because they're
Natural.
not natural women. And it's kind of hypocritical because there you are acknowledging that you are not a woman if that offends you.
Oh my God.
But this is how far we have gotten.
You guys, I am an ally supporter. But come on. Like
I can't support the
I just
bullshit.
feel like this specific case is
Jinkies.
Jinkies. Oh my
Fucking
God. I don't
jinkies.
know.
It just
doesn't make sense. Like, why were you offended by a lyric that literally came out in the late 60s? Who knows what the real meaning of that was? Because songs are like an art. Music is an art. It's a way of expressing yourself.
And it's an empowering song for women.
And it's and every song, every lyric can be up for interpretation, but that doesn't mean that that's what it's supposed to mean.
Matter of fact, can you play the video with because she speaks on that with the black lady? Can we pull that video up?
I will. So before we play this lady, I'm not trying to get on the Alphabet Gang's bad side, you know, because I would consider myself an ally to a certain extent. I want people to be heard. I want people to be respected. But I don't want things to be eradicated or changed for the sake of your feelings, because
feelings get you killed.
Reality does not recognize your feelings. Okay, only you recognize them, and you have to deal with reality as a result of your feelings.
Fact.
You know, and what's becoming like a big issue is that if you're not on board 100% of the way with like these progressives, or like if you're not 100% progressive in some of these circles, you're an enemy.
Yeah.
You know, and so like some of the things that I would say, they consider me an enemy, and fuck it. Okay, I guess I am. Fuck you. But like, dude, like, and it's
cut the bullshit, bro.
Cut the bullshit. And people that consider themselves on the right side of history and all that fucking nonsense, bro. Like, I just want to be able to look back on this and laugh.
So we're gonna show you guys a video, and she goes in on the transgender community, and I think she's correct. But we're gonna talk about it afterwards. Play it, Ben.
All right, hold on. Let me just do a little zoomies.
Zoom out. There you go.
All right, we're gonna play this video. This is for you guys. This is for you guys.
Force people to accept you for who you are.
Refresh it so it can start from the beginning.
And that is bull.
We're refreshing the video.
Play the sound.
Baby, I'm gonna say this. And if you get offended, so what? But you brought your ass over to my page. And I'm going to say what the fuck I good and goddamn well please own my page.
Yes,
Amen.
Yes, ma'am.
Amen.
No one is being transphobic, but people are tired of the trans community because it's not gay, it's not bisexual, it's not lesbian, asexual, pansexual, or even the goddamn gender queer. It's the trans community making pains in their asses out of themselves because you want to try to force people to accept you for who you are. And that is bullshit. If you're not happy with yourself, that is your fucking problem, no one else's. If you are happy with yourself, then live your life like you choose. That is your decision. You can't make nobody accept you. You can't make nobody condone what you choose to do. But what you can do is try to win respect on your own terms. And one way of doing that is not to try to force people or bully people over to your side, because that is what makes people resent change. That is what makes people resent the fact that you even fucking exist. You can't make anybody accept you, because, honey, if that was the case, Black people succeeded. Latinos would have succeeded. The Native American indigenous community would have succeeded. Hell, anybody would have succeeded as a person of color. You sound like a goddamn fool with this comment right here. And I don't give a fuck if you're offended by what I said. I dare you to prove me wrong.
All right.
No, man.
Because the problem is, I think that people are going online and they're trying to seem as PC as possible, or to try and get as many brownie points or things of that nature to gain like support in that kind of community.
I
Because
wouldn't even call it support.
because that's where that power, I believe, most of it is where it lies. It lies in the vocality or the minority of the vocalness or whatever. Because like the blessing and the curse of the internet is that one person can be heard by millions.
Yes.
You
Guys,
know?
Aretha Franklin passed away. So what is taking away her awards
Gonna do?
Is it just a message?
No,
But
they're not trying to take away the awards. Basically,
Okay.
they're trying to get her music. That song took off of all streaming platforms.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
I mean, that's
So,
pretty much the
but
same thing as like
if-
assassinating her
But
character.
if I may
scrubbing
say
her from
this,
history
right?
is some bullshit.
So when it comes to this community, we all know about Black Lives Matter, right?
Mhm.
They don't represent me.
No,
They don't.
They're terrorists.
If I may,
They're fucking terrorists.
they don't represent me in the sense I am a Black man, but I cannot force you to understand my struggle. I cannot force you to understand my upbringing. All I ask is you respect where I'm coming from. When you talk about this community, and I know plenty transgender, whether it be from Texas, whether it be from New York, Cali, and even here, and they'll even say it themselves, they are tired of this bullshit. You cannot force people to be your friends. You cannot force people to have your ideology.
True facts.
Your reality is not my problem. Your reality is not my responsibility. When you go this deep, when you want to basically be angry at yourself. And the only reason you got to be angry at yourself, because this is how you choose to live your life. I choose to live my life this way. Can you imagine me getting upset with you or you because me speaking as a Haitian? Oh, why do my people gotta get sent back to their country? Oh, you don't agree? You're my enemy. No, nobody on this earth has to see eye to eye with you. Ain't nobody have to deal with that shit. We're all free will here. And this is honestly a Western civilization problem. Because if you want to be 100, you got women getting killed in the Middle East, literally for being women. You got children starving in my parents' home country who can't get no water.
Yeah.
You got kids getting in the minefields in Africa, working themselves to death, mining shit.
Fucking lithium.
You have so much freedom here. And yes, do you have it bad? Yes, but not to the degree that you try to make it out for.
There are worse things.
There are worse things in life that can happen. So when we talk about transgender, and I don't care how y'all take this, I respect you as a human being, and you living your life.
Slave.
But the moment you try to force me and you try to cram that down my throat to have to accept you, you're going to lose every single time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Every single time.
I just want to say this.
Oh, but I don't mean to cut you off. Let me just get to the comments here.
Yeah, there's a comment. Chad says they coming after Whitney. I'm every woman. What?
Yeah.
Are
Yeah.
they?
Yeah, that and
Not
Aretha.
Whitney.
And then Dejor says, you don't force others to be like you or think the way you do. You just befriend or surround yourself with those who already do. I'm going to get into that. Let me just read off Ian's thing. It's all about respect. We don't need to agree on anything at all. Just accept that there are other points of view and beliefs. I think that's the ultimate way to go about it. Because like I got my boys. These are some of my best friends, and we don't see eye to eye on everything. Like I got one friend, he's as progressive as they come. Like I remember, and it's funny because there are certain things I can get away with because he's so progressive. Like remember I think when you first met him, and we were at the bar or the club or whatever.
Yo, if you seen this, mad love, dog. I ain't got nothing personal. You're just a little bit too sweet for my teeth. That's it.
What happened?
So like essentially, this is the first time he met Jay, and God. I know Jay's old school, so I know that there are some things that he's not accepting, but it's just
the face he makes when he doesn't agree with you.
Makes. Yeah, so I remember I was like, yo, Jay, look at this. I was like, yo, Jay, look at this. And then I leaned over to him like that, and like
they did a shotgun.
He shotgunned a vape.
A vape, not no weed, a vape, like literally on some intimate shit. And I'm just like, bro.
Period.
That's now you understand why I got this man the shirt. He's not gay, but $20 is $20. That's the inside joke that comes to it. So it's crazy. And if I may speak on your boy, here's the thing, bro.
LOL, guys.
And I'm going to speak to the OGs right now. Because there's a lot of OGs like, I don't fuck with that gay
times
shit.
Times are changing.
I'm like, it's not even about times changing. What happened to the respecting people for who they are, dog? Why is this such an irritant for you? Like, I come from a culture where dudes will basically see some gay shit and they want to get violent. They want to, I'm like, who are you? Like, if you, and I'm going to say this as a black man. Sorry to cut you off, Nate. I'm going to say this as a black man. Remember, we were persecuted for our skin color. We were persecuted for where we come from. So it is hypocritical for you to have that same mentality to somebody who's just living their life. Mind you, I don't agree with how they get down. I don't agree, but that's their relationship. I have to respect it, dog. That's all. It's all it comes down to, respect. Yeah. And the fact that we're out here being so emotional, dog. Emotions are the most dangerous things you can have in life sometimes because they could put you in a situation that you can't handle. Just have respect, bro. That's it.
You're gonna say something, T?
It
doesn't went in and out.
Bro, okay, wait. Something to add to that. So
you forgot to.
I forgot. Okay, so growing up, every time there was like this sexual scene or kissing scene, anything either very remote or intimate.
I just want to say I hate PDA.
Same.
Yeah, me too, kind of. My mom would always be like, Natalie, no me this. Don't work. Oh my God. And I'd be like, mom, why? Whatever. Not? And so as a kid growing up, that kind of just like subconsciously made me not like PDA. Every time I see it, I'm just like, like leave that for the bedroom. Like that's very intimate, this and that. And it's just a matter of like, that just makes me either anxious or uncomfortable. And it is not mutually exclusive between, it's two men doing it. That's so homophobic. Two women doing it. And this and that. I mean, it could just be straight up, you're just uncomfortable with PDA in general.
No, like, because like I don't think
whether you're straight or gay.
I don't think a peck, like if you kiss your partner or whatever, but like if you're sitting there
when
like,
you're making mac and cheese with your mouth, like,
it's like, come on, bro. Like,
what about you, T? What you think?
What you think?
On what?
PDA.
I like PDA though.
Really?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So you have no problem being out there sitting on top of your man, making out in front of random people?
No, I'm very spontaneous. So
I can't do that. I can't do that. You know what really gets like in my skin, like, and I say this to my gay homies. Like, no, real shit. Like I say this to my gay homies.
Word up to my gay homies.
Because the truth of the matter is, I always try to warn them and this is where I can come off a little bit strong-minded. I
Yeah.
said, yo, regardless your sexuality, you still have terms and condition of responsibility.
Yeah, and like public decency.
Like if you're a gay man, you're still a man. You still have to hold the door open for a woman. You still got to walk on the dangerous side of the street. Your position doesn't change, and your responsibility doesn't change because of your sexuality.
You can't tell
and
me
I feel like that's where shit gets critical. It's like, oh, I'm gay, so I don't have to, like, no, bro.
Oh, you know what?
You're sexual. Sorry, but when it comes to sexuality, here's where I think we got lost, right? It's nobody's business who you deal with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why I don't understand people who get mad about like transgender or gay people, because that's what they do in their confinements of their own home.
But it's not confined anymore. It's
But
the problem.
that's where I was getting at. That's where it gets crazy, because when you're doing it out, that's why people feel like you're cramming it down our throats.
Yeah.
Because it's like, yo, we can respect how you live your life, but we don't have to be forced to deal with that shit.
I think that people is not real. It's not the fact that, you know, that they're gay or whatever. I think everyone was kind of like accepting to that. It's when they started, and I'm just gonna say it, yeah. It's when you started trying to be us. I'm a natural woman. So when the trans tried to start being us, and then you start making all this like fuss and confusion about treating you like it, it's like you're not what you're trying to be the blueprint of. You're never going to be. I don't care if you go and get your tits done, if you go and get it removed. It's still emotions that women feel.
Mm-hmm.
It's still hormones that we have that y'all will not have. I don't care how many estrogen shots you get, how many testosterone shots that
Can I ask you a question?
Female get to be a man. Like, look at it. Even when they remove or when they give the female the surgery to be the man, she could still get pregnant.
Perversion.
That's how you have the ones that they're saying males getting pregnant.
No, but
it's really
that's
a
why they
female.
that's why they say people who can become pregnant now. Like, it's gone to the point to where
like
people can't even define what a woman is anymore. You're not even allowed.
But you're not inclusive language.
But can I ask you a question, being that you two ladies are, you know, well-respected women? I don't respect these women. Well, you better check yourself.
That was satire, guys, by the way.
So,
extra question.
I feel like it is super disrespectful
to us,
to women, when you're going to sit here and say, oh, now women or naturally born women are not the only ones who can get pregnant. And I'll take it away with a religion. Let's just be biology, right? The greatest gift a woman can give to a man is a child, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have no right to strip that from women. That is something that a gift that you guys have been.
Strip it from us. They're trying.
They're trying.
And that's what I'm saying.
And I think
us women need to stand up and fight back. To all my ladies out here, real natural women, we need to stand up and fight back. They taking our men. They trying to take the fact that we can have babies and say that they can have babies, and you can't. I'm sorry. I tried to support the trans, and like I said, I tried. I don't care. Y'all can bash me. Y'all can come for me. I don't care. Okay. I tried, but the whole point is like, you guys are like taking a lot away from us, from the men to the childbirth, to us having feelings, to like our respect. Songs. Like, it's like you're not respecting us, but y'all want to be us. So it's very confusing.
Yeah, Dejor says, when I hear people say thank you, sir, to a man, then correct themselves and say, or whatever you go by, I find that weird. Respect aside, it makes being respectful even become difficult.
Well, that happened to me at work, where this lady basically, she called corporate on me, bro. So there was a quick story time, right? There was a situation where my coworker was supposed to come in. He called out, and the lady came in to get the install done. She was upset. She was disoriented. Like, she was really pissed. They called me. I was like, yo, I don't mind coming in to come help her. So as I get there, she's automatically being sexist with me. Because I said, yo, do you have the parts? Oh, I already told him I had the part. And I'm like, well, I'm the installer. I need to verify. Oh, you're doing this because I'm a woman and you think you're the man. And I'm like, oh, hell's no. We're not going to do this today. And I want to give a shout out to Chicken and Victor and Josh on this one, because this is back in 2021.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, yo, first off, let me explain something to you. I'm the installer, the one installing it. Oh, if you don't want to do your job, then, that's your problem. You don't want to do your job. And I said, lady, if I didn't want to do my job, I was off today. I came in to help you. Let's make that very clear. So then she goes, lady, who you calling lady? Like, literally balls deep, getting in my, getting an attitude with me. I'm saying, I'm calling you lady. And she's like, oh, that's disrespectful. Da, da, da. I'm like, since the time I came in, you have not told me your name. I don't know if you're married. I don't know if you're single. I don't know if you identify as something else. I'm going visually, and you look like a young lady. So I will call you lady till you could calm down and explain to me who you are and what your name is. But till then, I will refer to you as lady. Oh, does your boss know you do that? Yo, chicken. Do I call people lady? When he said, yeah, you do, it's like, okay, then I shut it down. I was like, listen, I'm here to help you. I'm not being sexist. I'm not doing this because you're a woman. If I did not want to help you, again, I would not have came in. Here's where it gets crazy. I finally calmed the situation down. I said, listen, we'll do the install. I'll go open up. Please pull your car in. She comes in with her son. Finally, it's like she basically, once she heard what she wanted, she started calming down. But that's not what bothered me. It was the review she wrote on me.
What did she write?
So, we have NPSs, and I have one of the highest NPS ratings in the district. I'm really good at customer care and customer service. So I'm reading the message, and it's a passive, not a detractor, but a passive is still not good.
Yeah.
In her statement, she literally said, this guy did not want to work on the car. He was being sexist, and I had to tune him up and put him in check. You need to train your people to be more respectful and understand that because he's a man doesn't mean that he could basically tell me what to do. And here's where it bothered me. Number one, you got the wrong parts. I went to another store to pick up the right parts for you. I came on my day off to help you. I explained the product to your son. I discounted the products for compensation for the inconvenience that we had put you through because my guy calling out. But this is what makes it so hard, not as a man, but as a human being, to deal with people's entitlement issues. Right. And that's where it comes in. It all comes back to respect, bro. You know what I'm saying?
It is,
regardless whether you're a female or male. What is so hard about being respectful? Because the moment you make yourself a victim, you take away, number one, the blessings, and you close doors, and you put yourself in a segment and in a pool where people just don't want to deal with you.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
No, you found the unicorn.
You know what I'm
honestly.
saying? Like that, like to me, like it didn't hurt me, but I honestly felt bad for her son, and I felt bad for her husband. Because in my mind, at least I don't got to go home with you, lady. You know what I'm saying? And I was being respectful because, again, this is 2021. I don't know what you identify as. You get what I'm saying? Especially yelling at me. If I'm not yelling at you, that doesn't give you the right to yell at me.
No, I think it's the issue with like when people deal with customer service worker individuals because they are the customer because they're the customer, and this whole thing has been the whole notion that the customer is always right has been pushed. That people just come with the idea with entitlement.
They're not always right.
The full saying, I don't remember what the full saying is. But it's something along the lines of the customer is right because it's their money or whatever. So something dumb like that. But it's like, even though they're stupid, it's their money, so let them spend it how they want.
And then what happens is you lose good people like that because we don't want to deal with it. But on to the next, we're gonna show you another video, and you guys are gonna get a kick out of this one.
See.
Pull this up, Ben.
Sorry, Ben's
assume
Googling.
that the customer is right until it is plain beyond all question.
All
he is
women
not.
gotta represent.
Right, but people forget the last part.
Yeah, there are a lot of sayings that were popularized that people use, but they don't use the full one, right? So like a classic one is curiosity killed the cat, right?
Yeah.
But the full saying is curiosity killed the cat and satisfaction bought him back. You know, so that's not, you know, so you have to think about these sayings. Question everything, all right?
Exactly.
She says she's on the pill. Don't believe her. Question everything.
Oh my god! Hey, you know what? Fist bump, dog.
Let's go, baby.
Hell yeah!
Question everything.
All right.
What are we doing? We're doing
this one. Drive.
Okay.
This is I just want to let you know this is a sensitive one for some.
Yeah.
Viewer discretion is advised.
This is what makes a lot of men scared. Look at this.
So read the caption. Uber rider, lies to police and dash cam saves the driver. All right, so let's check this out. And for those of you people in the audience that don't like the sound of shrill women screaming, I'm
Good
so
luck.
sorry.
Yeah, just mute.
Yeah.
For like,
No, they gotta hear.
Yeah,
it,
they
though.
gotta hear. There's no caption, so just you
Check
have
it
to
out.
deal with it. I'm
Right.
sorry about that,
Sorry,
you guys.
guys.
Love you.
45 Anita Drive.
He's kidnapping us. Wait, but the best is that this is
I got dash cams inside. All right, thank you. I'm on the corner of Anita Drive
no.
and
You
Hanover.
are a liar. You are a liar.
Anita Drive and Hanover Road.
You are a liar. You are,
I have a
first of all,
2016 Toyota Camry.
and he has a child locked in the car. A child locked in the
There
car.
are no
We can't
child
get out
locks.
of the
You
car.
just got out.
We can't get out of the car.
You're on video. You just got out.
We can't get out.
You're on video. You just got out. You just got out. Okay, you can turn it. Yo, I'm gonna say it like this.
Guys,
If that had been me,
bro,
and I'm telling you right now, the moment she kicked my chair, I'm going to mace the shit out of you. Because what you showed me is you're willing to get physical. Here's where it gets crazy. Do you know how many women are honestly kidnapped? Do you know how many women are actually taken advantage of? Not only did you show your white privilege, but you are a horrible individual. What needs to happen, their identity needs to be exposed. Their job needs to be, because these girls are a liability and a threat to society behaving that way.
Ian said if he didn't have his dash cam, he would have been locked up for show.
For sure.
Yes.
Because
Show
that's
for show.
like easy to say, oh, he tried to abduct us. He tried, like, you're literally trying to destroy an innocent person's life. Not even a man, an innocent person's life. And it's like, and this is what I'm going to say to my viewers, be careful. Like, your boy here used to do Uber. I stopped doing Uber because I remember I picked up a dude from Brickell, right? It was like 3 a.m. Picked him up from working at Coyo Taco. I drop him off, and as soon as I drop him off, he's running back towards the car. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? I'm like, oh shit, maybe he forgot something. Dude left a fucking quarter of yay in the back of my seat.
Damn.
If I had got pulled over, there's no way I'm getting out of that.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So
God.
this is how far we have gotten. The entitlement is so crazy. Listen to what she said. He's kidnapping us. He has us locked in.
Like where how did that even, like, what was the origins of that story?
They were drunk. And you can hear the slur in her voice, but where's the accountability? Because guess what? They're gonna do it again. Did you see how she froze up when not the one who kicked the chair, but the other one froze up when he's like, yo, I have you on dash cam?
Yeah.
It's like, yo, you're on candy camera. And still then you act like that. This is how bad we're gotten. I'm not going to put this on women. We can't put this on women because men do the same shit.
No, they're just stupid people.
You know what I'm saying? Like this is like, how do we evolve from that? Like, tell me that's not scary. Imagine you doing that and somebody does that to you, or your loved one who's doing Uber. Like, you guys, yo, to those 2 women out there, you are horrible individuals and you deserve a beating worse than a fat man's heart. I call it how I see it.
The thing is that we are in hard times right now. What I mean by that is, I mean that like socially, the saying goes, hard times create strong men.
Yes.
Strong men create good times. Good times create weak men. Weak men create hard times. You know?
You said it wrong, but
No, I'm not. Hold on.
yeah, if I may say it right.
Go ahead.
It says, hard times make strong men. Wait. Hard times make strong men. Strong men make easy times.
It's okay.
Easy times make weak men, and weak men make hard times.
Yeah, it's good times, not easy times. So I said it right. Thank you.
Pull it up.
I just did. I'm literally reading it right now.
I just want to say, while y'all are debating that when I seen that video, it definitely brought back.
I apologize. You were correct. I retract my statement.
It brought back the image of Emmett Till for me, and Emmett Till is always a story that sticks out of my mind because the white lady lied on him for years. He was brutally murdered. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't no cameras or nothing back then, but now we're going ahead. Like,
Still
what is it, 52 years
shit.
later?
Yeah.
And the lady just got locked up because she lied.
Bro.
If it was a camera back then, like now, for that, Emmett Till would have still, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
could have been alive.
Imagine,
but imagine You know what I'm saying? Like y'all said, if that was no dash cam,
Yeah,
that
he would have been
story would have
screwed.
just been like Emmett Till. You know what I mean?
But there is an Emmett Till. Did you hear about the white chick who got a train ran on her because her boyfriend found out she lied on the athletes and they ended up losing their scholarship, going to jail when they found out we're innocent? She actually rolls her eyes in the courtroom and she doesn't care. Like, yo, do you understand that, bro? And yes, you're right. It's a fraction of Emmett Till. And for those who don't know about Emmett Till, let me give a wide example. This is a boy from Chicago who was lied on about whistling at a white lady. And to show you the brutality that came from it, they didn't just murder him. They beat him. They beat him so bad they disfigured his face.
They castrated him.
They castrated him and hung a 40-pound cotton gin around his neck and sent him down the river. And I want to say thanks to the Till family, because it was the power of the mother having the open casket showing what they did to her son. And that started such a big movement in civil rights.
And now I want to say, if you want to see Emmett Till's body, it's an amazing thing to go see at the African American Museum.
It's very emotional.
It's very, very emotional, but it is so tremendous.
Where is it?
So the African Museum in Washington, D.C., the Smithsonian African Museum. Wow. It is amazing. Just go to the African Museum anyways. It's amazing, you guys.
There was also like other stories, like hospitality nurses, sharing their stories on TikTok about like times where they take care of like elderly people who either have Alzheimer's dementia and they're like remembering back on like their early lives. And this old lady confessed that when she was like younger, she lied. Yeah, she got a boy killed because she lied, saying that he like touched her or something and she didn't like it or raped her because he didn't like the way that his sisters were wearing like their dress.
And they hanged him, killed him, and then before she died, well, here's the trippy part. She was saying that she said seeing his, like, she felt the devil was coming and she kept seeing him as a spirit and she was like, yo, she was freaking out. She ended up dying.
Yeah, now, asking for forgiveness from the nurse. The nurse was like,
I can't forgive you. That's between you and God.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. It's not only blacks, by the way. It's also Hispanics. If you knew what the Cubans went through when they got here, if you knew about the Mexicans back in the 1920s through the Zoots era, we have gone through so much.
Yeah.
And here's the crazy thing. We stay resilient. You get what I'm saying? Why? Because we're here to love, bro. We're not here to condemn, and it's not to target all white people at all.
No, yeah.
But the history is there. We have gone through a lot, and it's like now, like they said, the best time to be a person of color is now because we have a platform. We're able to use that as a beacon and to further ourselves. Let's pull up the next video as we go in.
Yeah, you too can be free. Says, just remember that humans are the most dangerous species on Earth. You're absolutely right. So honestly, I think in regards to like race and stuff like that, I know it's a touchy subject, but I honestly believe if the shoe was on the other foot, it would be the same thing because humans just follow the same patterns. Like I know that what happened to African Americans in America, it was shitty, but imagine, right?
It's not only here.
Like literally, like, slavery was a shitty thing. But it literally happens everywhere on Earth.
Like at Brazil.
Yeah.
Do you know about Brazil? So for every slave we have here, equal 5 of them. Wow. And the way they treated slaves in Brazil, our slaves were treated like first class. That's how brutal slavery was over there.
So I think that I just don't think that, because my main thing with that is I don't think that people should be prosecuted for the sins of their ancestors.
No, they're not responsible.
But that, unfortunately, some people don't see it that way. I mean, look, she's
okay,
showing.
I want to hear this. If I may, before you give your point of view, right?
No, I'm just saying, if you didn't own, I didn't own slaves. My grandparents didn't own slaves. My great parents didn't own slaves.
But here's where I want to talk to T about that, and I see we're gonna basically go into it. When I say white people are not responsible for what their ancestors did, they're not. It's like saying I'm not responsible for what my father did or what my mother did. You can't put that on me. You get what I'm saying? I'm my own person. However, I think it's a delicate balance because even though they're not responsible for what happened, I have a problem when you refuse to acknowledge what happened, because then I have a problem with you because you're denying truth. And the person who denies truth That's a dangerous person.
Yeah.
This on this. Go ahead.
Oh, me? The reason why I disagree with what y'all just said, I'm not holding them responsible, but what I've learned, because like I'm not originally from Florida, I'm from like North Carolina and stuff. So like when you come from a racist or a racist family or a family that have owned slaves, 9 times out of 10, they have instilled those morals and those beliefs in you, whether it was on purpose or subconsciously.
Okay.
So you still don't look at us the same or treat us as equal as it should be. And you see that a lot when you start hearing everyone in this day and age still talk about white privilege. Just being honest, it's still going to be the same. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm holding everyone accountable. Like, oh my God, your family had it, so you feel that way. But I'm just saying, like, racism continues because even though slavery stopped, you were still projecting those morals, those thoughts, those beliefs into them.
No, yeah, but again, but you're being taught that, and it's not your fault. Yeah, you know, like it's one thing.
It is because now look at what day and age we're in. You have a choice. You could be woke. It's not an apartheid anymore.
But again, listen,
you're programmed.
You know,
that way.
Because it takes. Not everyone's going to be self-aware. You know, so that's why I say it may not be your fault, but it is still your decision whether or not you level up from that like mindset, right? It's not your fault that you were raised that way. I mean, it's not. Can you really say it's their fault?
We're all kind of like subconsciously racist.
Okay.
Let's be honest about it.
I'm not saying I'm not, though. I am racist.
Okay.
I'm not saying, but listen, but is it my fault that I'm subconsciously racist?
Is it your fault?
Is it?
No, because you've been programmed.
Yeah. Is it my fault, though?
Kind of, sort of, because you do have a choice. And the reason why I say that is the same way. The reason why I say that, right, is because everything that we've been through, the stipulations and stuff that's still on Black people, how we're targeting and things like that, it still affect us, right?
Okay.
But we choose to still like people of another color or of another race, right? So you're choosing to like them, even though everything is not equal, everything is not fair. You're not taught, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, no matter what they do, you got to still like them. No, we're just mentally conditioned. And it's like, how can I say this to make you see my point?
If I could throw this in there,
it's my fault that I'm subconsciously racist.
Hold on, wait. If I could say this, right? I don't have, and I'm gonna say this, and I know I might catch slack for this. We all know who Donald Sterling is, right?
No.
The owner of the Clippers.
Yeah.
No.
When he said the N-word and all that.
Yeah, he basically referred to like he said some racist stuff.
Is he white?
Yes, he's Jewish.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So here's where I had a customer said, "You're pretty smart for a brown boy."
Oh.
And my coworkers were like, "How dare she?" And they couldn't understand why I didn't take it to heart. And I said, and I think I explained it very well. This woman had to be near 90.
Yeah.
I said, you have to understand, she grew up in a world where white was white, Black was Black. If you thought otherwise, you were killed.
Oh, and Black didn't have the same education.
Yeah. So also, my issue is you speed it up. If you're my age and you are racist, I have a serious problem with you because you're educated. You get what I'm saying? You know the truth. Choice. So you're choosing to be that way. That makes you dangerous.
Thank you.
Also, to explain what white privilege is, the best way to explain white privilege.
Okay, before you go on the white privilege, before you say that, to what T's saying, because I feel like she thinks she's telling me something, but in reality,
go ahead,
this is what it is. You can be subconsciously racist, but that doesn't mean you have to act on it, right? Does that make sense when I say that? Like
you can have intrusive thoughts.
You can have
whether it be messed up or
not necessarily like intrusive thoughts, human nature. But like you can just you can have racist thoughts, right? But that doesn't mean you have to act on it, right? Like you can
right. That's like you can have evil thoughts, but
you're absolutely right. But again, it's not my fault, right? If I have those thoughts, it is my fault if I act on them.
Yes.
So what I'm saying is that's why I say it's not someone's fault that they were raised a certain way. What is their fault is if they continue on with it, you know. Okay, but then again,
we could agree.
But then again, there are people who don't. There are people who don't know that they don't know. Does that make sense? There are people who don't know that they don't even know. Does that make sense?
So it's people who don't know that they're racist?
No, people who don't know that being racist is bad.
Yes, because they've been so institutionalized that
because like imagine normal. You're from North Carolina, it's racist over there, whatever, right?
And some parts, yeah.
There are places in America called sundown states or sundown cities or whatever where if you're fucking colored and it's nighttime, you're done, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there are
like
people
Gaston, South Carolina.
There are people in those places who knows being racist is bad, but they do it because it gives them a kick of power, right?
Yes.
But then there are people, there are people who are racist who don't even see it as a bad thing. Like the situation with what Logic just described, with this 9-year-old fucking lady,
pretty smart for a brown boy.
She lived in the world, like what he said. Fucking black people were dumb.
Wrong. I mean, she knows it's wrong. She just still did it because she said in her ways. But she knows it's wrong.
She's programmed. But to go back to white privilege,
she went through slavery being abolished.
This is the best way I could explain white privilege. Yeah. As a homie who has a lot of white friends, just because you got white privilege doesn't mean you're going to be successful. Doesn't mean as a white man you don't struggle.
Right.
The best way to explain what white privilege is like being born right-handed. Everything in the world is accommodated for you. And being a person of color is like being born left-handed. You have to go.
And we people of color and we left-handed.
You feel me?
Me and Jay, we left-handed, baby.
The reason why I say that, imagine you're right-handed. The desk you sit in school is accommodated for you. The notebook you're using is accommodated for you. What it means is your white privilege literally proves that you still go through struggle, but because you're not a person of color, you have less obstacles to go through than we do as people of color.
Now, but here's what happens sometimes, though. I think that people use the idea of white privilege to discredit what white people go through. Because it's again,
they do, and it's shameful.
Yeah, and people have to remember. You guys have to remember, it's not a race thing; it's a class thing.
Yes,
like
dude, boy, let's go.
They created the class system to fucking keep right.
Educated, uneducated, baby.
It's like, nigga, rich people don't care about your skin color, my guy. So when people were calling Donald, thank you. When people were calling Donald Trump racist and shit, bro. I personally, I don't follow politics much, but I don't believe that Donald Trump looks at a black nigga on his level and be like, yeah, fuck that nigga. No, he's like, I wonder I wonder what kind of money this guy can make for me.
Facts.
Like, if he can't make me money, get the fuck out of here. White dude, Hispanic dude,
money
black
changes
dude,
everything.
get the fuck out of here. If you can't make me money, you're out.
You know what's gonna piss people off? And I want to say this about Donald Trump. I don't like him.
Yeah,
I don't like his character as a human being. But the truth of the matter is, the way individuals like him think, you're not in our circle. You're not in our club.
Literally.
Because it's not even class. It's just like, we do it now. You hang along with your own. It's like being in the hood. You know what I'm saying? If you's a square, we don't fuck with you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not that we're hating on you, but you don't relate to us.
You
can't adapt to our lifestyle. And that's what happens with that is class. If you go to the islands, you get what I'm saying? Race is it's really not a thing. It comes down to class. Those who are educated and have, and those who are uneducated without.
Because like if you go to the islands or whatever and you start speaking that patois on point, whatever, you got the fucking lingo down and shit, them niggas, they will fuck with you, bro. But if they see that you're just you're a tourist, they're gonna fucking chop your head off. You know,
in certain places, not everywhere.
In certain places. In certain places, like they'll if they see that you're an easy mark, they're gonna fucking get you.
But on the next, let's speed through it before we run out of time.
What is the next thing? The next Vizio.
The next one
is we're gonna do this one or
the Joe. No, we did that one. The Joe, but this one is gonna definitely start some stuff with the ladies. I want to see your input on this. Ladies. I want to hear this one. I want to see what they think about this. Let's go.
Nah, you know what? Fuck that. I can do it too.
Do it again. Hold on.
Give the three of y'all a bonus. If I call my girl right now and say I want half an hour, nah, you know what? Fuck that. I can do it too. I need you to pay a couple dollars my rent next month.
If you ever needed money, I would give it to you. You don't have to even go there.
Oh, I love that.
I'm that nigga, man. For the next couple months, we need you to pay half of the mortgage.
Let's go.
Yo, listen. Man, this other nigga good. I'm gonna need you to help me pay the car note.
Why? What happened?
If you could, I need you to help me out with some of these bills I got next month. Just maybe next month.
Right.
You man, don't worry. One day you have somebody to call me.
Wow.
I give the three of y'all.
Came for fucking neck on that one, bro.
If I may,
Hey, that's what's up.
This is an important issue.
That's what's up.
And I'm not going to talk about my personal experience. I'm going to talk
You know
about what I have
that
witnessed.
gives me hope. You know, maybe
Right?
women aren't too bad after all.
First of all, you should have had a lot of hope because all the women said, yeah, it was the poor lady who ain't have no hope from these broke ass men. Let's talk about it.
That is your problem as a woman.
It's not my problem.
Let's go, ladies.
I'm an independent woman. We can hold ours down.
Let's go, ladies. That's your problem. That's your problem.
That's not my problem.
Ladies, help
That's
me
not
out.
my
Listen,
problem.
on a serious note, this is something that a lot of men worry about.
Ooh,
Real talk.
I need me a chick that spend money on me.
No, real
This is
shit.
the
This
first
is
time I hear
something
Ben
that
talk good about women.
a lot of men worry about. Real shit. Because
I don't want to be the bad guy.
a lot of men, and this is not all women. We cannot say it's all women.
Because I'm
Right,
paying my
right.
bill.
But what we see, the majority of what we see,
Yeah.
whether it's real life, we see it with our own people, we see it on social media, we see it with celebrities. Men are taught to be the provider. But it's like you got that one dude, Queen's Flip, when she's asking, but why? It's like, well, damn, yo, I've been taking care of everything up to now, and I'm telling you I need help. I just find it crazy and critical where you could be with somebody for an amount of years, you asking for help,
and they'll look at you funny.
Yeah, they'll look at you funny. And that's the entitlement. That's right. You know, and
wait, what'd you say?
I said suck your mother, but in Creole.
Pretty much. You know, like that's like being a VCA. Like you're not being genuine about it. And
call them get momo.
And Ian says 50-50 on everything. I'll be real with you, though. I get mad when I hear that statement 50-50 because there's no such thing as 50-50.
Yeah.
It's to me, it's play your position.
No, yeah, because like
play your position.
Because I guess this is how I would understand 50-50. Play your position. You do your role, I do mine. That's how we separate this relationship 50-50.
Because we're in a championship, everyone has to play their position.
Right? Because like people,
everyone can't be the shooter. Somebody got to get the
in this economy.
Yeah.
No, because like when you say 50-50, when people usually say 50-50, they're thinking like finances, right?
Right.
You know, and it's not always finance. So, you have to be my rock. I gotta be your
rock.
rock.
Yeah.
You know, we gotta scratch each other's backs. What I think sucks the most, what is happening, is that things are becoming more transactional. You know, and like because I'm guilty of this myself because I would feel some type of way if somebody was spending money on me, because I'm like, damn, I gotta get them back, and not necessarily because like I don't want to owe them.
I feel you,
but because like
you don't want the receipt over your head.
Yeah, like
I feel you.
Because like I wanna do that too. You know, it's like that. I want to do that too. I want to spend money on you.
I have a question for you, and you know I'm gonna stir the pot right now. Why did you get so tight about the men and the woman? What was that about?
Because lately men have not been holding down the women. That's why women have become more and more independent. I mean, y'all see it yourself. When women are not
say men, but
women are not waiting on men to do.
But that's the men they choose.
The sexual revolution.
I'm so tired of you guys saying that's who we choose. That's who we choose.
That's the truth. Like, because it's not all men.
Not
you
true.
got good men. You got bad men. True or not?
I mean, a man comes into your life, you make the choice whether or not to keep him around. I wholly believe that if a woman wants to be with a man, she will move heaven and earth to fucking see that nigga again. I promise you. Women they have that.
But
like,
you know what messes a lot of things up? Sorry to cut in.
No, I was just gonna start ranting.
Men, and this is a true fact, and this is where I see the main difference between male and female. If a man if you see a relationship and ask a man, yo, you willing to die for your girl? 9 out of 10 times the dude's gonna be like, yeah. You ask a woman over what, but why? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Men, we are easily able to love.
Which men do y'all be speaking from? Is this like the
I'm talking
the
men.
5
I'm
friends
talking
or your group of friends that you know?
I'm talking.
I don't mean to cut you off, but Dejor says it's diabolical to say you don't choose the men you fuck with. It goes for both men and women.
Yes.
Yeah. Both
But
men
what
and
I'm
women.
saying is, men as a whole, the majority of men, we are able to love our partners unconditionally way faster than most women are willing to love us unconditionally. And I could prove it because guess what? Men, and it's been proven time and time again, you could take a successful man, he will wife up the chick at Burger King.
Yeah.
You will not find a high value woman who's doing well for herself even looking in a man's direction in the same situation.
But let's say this.
And if I may finish on that, and then I'll let you take it. The reason why I say that unconditional love is only applied to animals, children, and women. But women, I'm not saying women are not capable of, but the majority that is shown from studies, plenty cases out there, women love men conditionally. Because if that man cannot perform, if that man falls foul on his ass or goes through hard times, time and time again, we have seen more than enough examples, more than enough studies that a woman will opt out, meaning the love that a woman has for a man in most cases is conditional versus men in most cases. I'm not talking about the fuck boys and all. I'm talking about the real men love women unconditionally. And it's been statistically proven. That's why men stay in relationships when shit ain't right, but women always choose to opt out.
I think it was like 80% of divorces are initiated by the woman, or
over 80%. Look it up.
And when you look at the rest of that, that's because men are afraid to initiate divorces because the way the world is set up, you don't let me finish. But the way the world is set up is that the government goes against you guys when it comes down to us and divorces, like family, because they feel that the mother is going to be the one who takes care of the kids and have the kids and everything. So they usually make the men pay alimony, child support, things like that. So men usually typically stay in that marriage to avoid those type of things afterwards, because y'all get hit with the consequences harder than women 9 times out of 10.
If I may,
that's what the other part of the statistics say about that.
I gotta disagree. And the reason why I disagree with that statement alone, you said it yourself. Women are opted out to leave. They get paid to leave. You know what I'm saying? Child support, alimony. But it has been statistically proven that when the relationship is not going right, men will bunker down and try and try. It is women who initiate the divorce 9 out of 10 times. That you can't deny that. But that's been proven. It has been proven. It's been proven
because we got other statistics that prove for women.
But if you could
prove that it's traditional for a woman to stay, usually no matter what is going on, cheating, other different things.
It was by 2015. I'm just reading like the really quick excerpt. 2015 study by the American Sociological Association revealed that women initiate 69% of all divorces in the U.S. and that's by 2015.
Yeah, it's higher now.
Yeah.
So for you to say,
so it's women file 70% of the divorces in the US as of June 22.
But y'all don't is because of what I said.
No, because that doesn't make any sense. Let me just say it doesn't make any sense, because whether a man does or not, he's still hit with those conditions. Meaning, even if he basically doesn't choose to opt out, if she chooses to opt out, he's still getting hit with the same reality. If he were to opt out,
don't choose to opt out. That's why I'm saying. So my point again is valid. You're making my point valid. So again, because what I said, the reason that men don't opt out, even when things are not going well and they stay in a situation that makes them uncomfortable, unhappy, and pretty much downright an angry man they become, is because they know if they do go and try to file for a divorce, they're the ones who get hit with the hardest consequences.
But this is what I'm trying to say to you. That doesn't applicable, because if women are the ones initiating divorce, the terms and conditions stay the same. Meaning, whether he opts for a divorce, women are the ones opting out. He's still getting hit with the alimony. He's still getting hit with the child support. So him staying has nothing to do with that, because regardless, it's the conditions of terms don't change.
Yeah, like even if he leaves, or if he, I see what logic is saying. I see what you're saying, but I also see what logic is saying. Like, so what T is saying is that I mean, I'm just gonna repeat what she said. They're not leaving because they don't want to get hit because the system is stacked against us.
Yeah, either way.
But what logic is saying is the reason why that's irrelevant, because even if the system wasn't stacked against us, the women would still leave, even if the husband wanted to bunker down. I mean, it's fine that you disagree about it.
I don't, because y'all leave before. Okay, let me like. What's the? That's what I'm saying. The definition of leaving, like it's so many things. There's like so many gray areas in that, because like y'all truly being left. Like, let's say if y'all not happy, y'all usually start to go out and start cheating and doing a whole bunch of other things that before the lady even started to do a divorce. Because because like if y'all done already emotionally tuned out,
you're making this to you're using. Is this statistics or is this anecdotal?
Statistics. Men usually go out and cheat and do infidelity
but the
first.
Statistics are not there. Because what you're talking about is the minority. The majority is not that. That's proven. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's not my opinion. Cool. That's an actual fact.
I'm just gonna agree to disagree. But go ahead.
All right, let's just move on then. We're gonna run around in circles.
All right, next video.
All right.
Lego.
All right, so you know what? What's funny? All right, so this is the nursing thing. What's funny? I remember like maybe like 5 or so years ago, this same thing happened. So like it's just like a scam that's been going on with nurses are purchasing like transcripts and shit from accredited universities.
Christ.
This was a scam that happened in Florida, I think down south.
3 schools.
Yeah, like where like they weren't accredited. So these fucking people put all this fucking money into this shit, and when they went to they try to get a job or whatever the fuck, right? Move on to another institution. They're like, bro, yo, we can't use your credits, dog. This is not in the credits.
Wait, you mean you mean on the like TikTok where it's like, oh my god, get your degree in this many months?
No, I think it was like CBT college or some shit.
Oh my god,
did the research on this. T did the research on this.
The one that you're talking about, it wasn't nurses at first. This was IT. It was IT tech. Remember? And everybody used to go to
tech.
Everybody used to go to ITT Tech. They used to try to get their degrees and kind of find out it was no credited nowhere. Like nowhere. So all that money that you paid to get those degrees, nothing happened. Like it was total trash. Damn. So now it's happening again in Florida, in Texas, New York, and let me see what else they said. I think it was Texas, New York, Florida, and New Jersey. Yeah. Yesterday, the federal agents arrested about 25 suspects for fabricated nursing degrees.
15,000 a pop, right?
It was 10,000 for a licensed practical nurse degree, and then 17,000 for a registered nurse degree. So once they got busted and got arrested, a lot of them are now facing charges. Their jobs is no longer valid. Their exam that they actually passed, like for you to get into the healthcare profession,
your boards,
your boards, they actually are getting taken away. So what's messed up to me is one, that it was a lot of fake nurses and stuff being being put into these positions, because I was a cancer survivor and I was misdiagnosed for so long. And technically, when you're in the hospital or wherever, you usually only see your doctor maybe once a day, okay? And your nurses is the ones who's taking care of you 24/7 around the clock. They're the ones prescribing your medicine. They're the ones putting it in your IV. They're the ones who's giving you all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? And then come to find out they're not even certified. They're not even supposed to be doing this job. And then I feel bad for the ones that were actually licensed practical nurses,
practitioners.
Like nurse practitioners, licensed nurse practitioners, and then they had went back to these schools just to get their regular nursing degree, because now it's not even valid. Like nothing is valid for them.
Well, here's where I think this is where it gets critical. In the medical field, being my background's heavy with that, with what my family has chose for career, it's scary. Can you imagine being in the care of somebody who literally has no qualifications? I ain't going front. I don't think I ever been in that situation, because it's hard to say, because you literally put your faith in that person. But people need to go to jail.
No, I mean, I'm gonna play devil's advocate for this. I think that even though going to school for it and proving that you are knowledgeable, because essentially getting your diploma and all that just proves that you're knowledgeable, right? It proves to someone that you're knowledgeable.
Doesn't mean you meant for the field.
Exactly. Without them having to do the research, Huh?
The hands-on training.
Yeah, without them having to do the research, right,
Mhm.
on your background. If you prove that you have the diploma, right, they don't have. They was like, okay, he has a diploma. That means I can trust this guy, right?
Yeah.
And that even people with diplomas still could be like major fuck ups. Even people that earned it
all the day,
still major fuck ups, right? And so I remember I was reading, I was either reading an article, or I was watching an informative like video about how we are still trying to figure out C-sections when like in the 1600s or whatever, in like some tribe in Africa, they were like midwives were successfully doing C-sections and like
first brain surgeon was an African,
so
tribal man.
So it's like these guys didn't go to school, right? They didn't get diplomas. They just fucking, they did the shit and it fucking worked, right? And in this is show Suits, I think it's called, where the guy pretends to be a lawyer because he has eidetic memory.
Yes.
He didn't go to school. He just took the bar exam.
But those are rare cases. Those are rare cases because
they are rare cases, right? But because they exist, recognize that, right? Because like again, you could have a medical doctor who's a fucking
you're
quack.
not wrong. It's just the way I look at it. The reason why
I don't agree. Just playing devil's advocate.
I know. But the reason why this is so detrimental to people's health and lives, is you're talking about medicine. You're talking about life and death situations. You do not want somebody who doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. Like my sister, she's a nurse, right? I remember when she was in the hospital, there's some individuals who do not need to be in there.
Oh, yeah.
Straight up. Like when I went through my accident, mind you, I had a broken femur. I had a partially broken hip, broken chest, I had to use the bathroom.
Hey.
If my mom wasn't there, you know what this girl did? She tossed me the bedpan.
Damn, nigga.
I'm high on fentanyl.
Nigga, I would have held your dick for you, nigga. Shit.
Whoa.
You heard me?
You gonna finish your story?
Oh, so because I'm willing. No, hold on. Because I'm willing to do that for my brother, I'm getting the face. Yeah.
That ain't cute. No.
Yeah, because I'm willing.
I can just imagine Ben.
You were going on with your story, or can I say something?
No, you can say something. He broke my thought.
Okay. I just want to say this because this is kind of like this story here just reminds me of the girl, rest in peace, and condolences to her family, Jayla Williams. She was the 26-year-old that came to Plantation, Florida to get a BBL, right? But because they had hired an anesthesiologist, and they hadn't checked any credentials, this girl ended up dying.
Yeah.
Okay.
My God.
Because the anesthesiologist overdosed her pretty much.
Put
her to sleep.
And it happens.
You know what
to
I'm
be
saying?
an anesthesiologist.
So imagine being one of these nurses.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You didn't get proper education. This is all fake. And then you go in there. Can you imagine like the mentality that if one of the patients would have died, or if you would have got misdiagnosed, or your whole life is getting turned upside down now because of this, like it's a lot of things that could happen.
Like I said, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Right? Again, just playing devil's advocate. There are people who have their degrees who are retards, and who knows, right? There could have been a person that paid for it, but they were better at their job than the motherfucker that went to nursing school for 7 years. You know,
I mean,
in rare cases.
I'm not saying that because of that we should allow these people to hold on to their credentials. No, I mean, like if you didn't do the fucking time, you don't get the reward.
I mean, the truth is, in the field of medicine, it's more tricky because these are lives we're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
You know what's crazy? It seems like Florida has a lot of this going on because I don't know if you guys remember, but the guy from West Palm Beach, I think he's like 20 something.
The one acting like a OBGYG. He went to jail.
He did it again. He did it again.
Wow.
I do want to say this, and this is where I could basically confirm to Ben saying this is
it goes for every important confession.
While my mom was in the hospital, I remember I scared the shit out of the nurse. Because, my mom, she's an older lady. They gave her Dilaudid and they gave her a Buterol. And I went in on them. I said, how you going to give my mom something that sparks her heart rate and then give her a downer?
Right.
Especially at her age. I want to speak to the charge nurse. Bro, once I said that, then they want to, no, it was a mistake. I'm like, no, it wasn't a mistake. Because you guys can't. You got to identify this new generation nurses. Mind you, I thank you for the sacrifice. I thank you for the time and work you put in.
Yeah.
But understand,
This is Naruto.
people's lives are in your hands, bro.
No, I think that people just become
Right.
desensitized over time, bro. Like,
Yes.
it's just human nature that once you deal with something long enough, it kind of just you just get into the motions of it, right? Doesn't matter what the profession is, you get into the motions and you're just like.
So T, before we close out, I want to hear your final thoughts on this.
Final thoughts. I know we didn't get to play the video, but the final thoughts.
Which one?
This
one?
Yeah.
Oh, let's play it. Sorry.
Oh,
Let's play it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, play
wait a
it
minute.
from there.
Roy. Nicole, this was a $114 million scheme where nursing schools based right here in South Florida sold those fake diplomas at $15,000 a pop. Those students would then take that diploma and in some cases obtain nursing jobs without even having the proper training. U.S. Attorney for the Southern District, Mackenzie LaPointe, surrounded by federal agents to announce the results of Operation Nightingale, a scheme where fake diplomas and transcripts were sold to thousands of people across the country in order to work as registered nurses.
The last thing we want to learn is that the nurses administering the medications, the ones charged with carrying out the doctor's order, took shortcuts on their clinical training and use fake nursing diplomas to get their licenses and jobs. Unfortunately, thousands of
that sold fake nursing diplomas nationwide, and there
people have taken these shortcuts.
7,600 that federal agents are aware of.
7,600?
Yeah, 7,600 nurses.
$15,000 fake diplomas
7,600
went on to
nurses.
sit for state exams, even passing them.
Use those fake
That's what I was telling you.
to sit for state board
That's a
examinations,
lot.
obtain their nursing licenses.
I mean,
And a lot of that happened during COVID.
We learned that during
Remember
nursing
when it
school,
was-
selling the
when
fake
they-
documents
yeah,
were
they
based
needed
right
healthcare
here in
workers,
South
yeah.
Florida. One at the Palm Beach School of Nursing in West Palm Beach, another at the Siena College of Health in Lauderhill, and at Sacred Heart International Institute in Fort Lauderdale.
25
Okay,
individuals.
look, I'm gonna say that this is gonna be a hot take. I'm gonna say this.
You're not gonna get training until you're in the field, anyways. Leaving people alone. I respect
thoughts that went to school as well as for the discipline, but you can't be mad at those that's gonna learn the same way in the field. So
that is ignorant.
I mean, no, but here's the thing with that. He's not wrong, but that's still a dangerous take to have because you can't learn as you go. I mean, it's not good to learn as you go in the medical field of all places. You know,
life.
You should at least have like some kind of understanding.
This is
you
not
know,
some
like,
associate's degree that you put on your resume because you want to make sure that you get like an entry level job.
We just want to say to whoever PH15 Boosie is, imagine you just got in a serious car accident. Bam, your neck is crashed, is broken. Yeah. And you need somebody to administer that medicine. You get Miss Fake Nursey here. She takes your life. You would have wanted you would have wanted your family to sue for malpractice, but you just said, hey, it doesn't matter. They're going to get hands-on training right anyway, right?
I mean, like, honestly, I would say the silver lining that I can see, like the ones that, because the guy said that some of them sat down for their boards and passed. Hey, I mean,
but I think those were the ones that were actually licensed practitioner nurses that went back to get their registered nurses degree.
And they didn't want to go through all of it, so they just fucking,
so they
I
you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that was during when COVID I'm telling you guys, it had to happen a lot down here in Florida when COVID hit. Because if you remember, when COVID hit down here, a lot of the nurses quit because they was like, they're not getting the vaccine, they're not doing this, they're not doing that. So they quit. And then they started hiring all these different people and started saying they needed healthcare workers. And don't worry, then that's when you started seeing all the nursing schools popping up, talking about in 8 months you could get your nursing degree. Like, you know, I really feel like that's where it came from.
All right, let me just read these comments off and then I'll give my final thoughts. Dejor says, it's crazy that we can orchestrate a vaccine that quickly.
Right.
And we're going to allow these motherfuckers in the field. Now we're stripping the diplomas of those who are helping out that operation. You know, and like, I get it, because what T was saying, there were probably some that were LPNs that wanted to get their RN. That sucks, right?
Right,
but
that sucks.
They should have gone through the proper channels, right?
Exactly.
It's a risky business either way. And then Ian says part of the nursing curriculum is hands-on training. Yeah, it's hands-on training with a teacher, right?
And everything Tina said. So I'm just gonna be the live guinea pig for the new untrained nurse.
Yeah, exactly. You know?
Exactly.
You know,
No, I'm not.
Like it's
You're
like
right, Tina.
because like here's the thing. because I used to be a student nurse. They're not gonna, tell you to do the IV unless you were in the classroom. Thank you. Unless you were in the classroom working on the dummy, fucking with like the fake IVs or fake flesh, right? Yeah, right. Unless if you're one of the people that fucking purchased them and you had the equipment and you made sure you were doing all the shit, maybe, but still, bro, you gotta go through the proper channels.
Like I could do my own IV.
Yeah,
doesn't mean I do it for other people.
Exactly, bro. It's still.
And then you gotta remember really quick. I just want to add this really quick. Yeah. You gotta remember, like, it's so many medications out here in the world, and a lot of them sound alike, but they do totally different things. Yep. So if you don't know the difference between tramadol and Turadol, like, you're gonna be like, what? Yeah, like, which one am I giving them? And then you might give something that somebody's allergic to because it sounded like tramadol and you're supposed to give them Turadol.
The things that I hated the most. Oh, we're not killing the messenger days, or we're just, you know what I'm saying. Okay, so the thing that I hated the most was the fucking drugs, because like there are suffixes and prefixes. Mm-hmm. All right, so my thing about that is, bro, if you were willing, at the end of the day, it was a risk that you took, and you knew what could have happened. Therefore, when you made that choice, you have to accept it as it is. Like, I can only feel so much pity for you, right? Like, hey, bro, you paid the $15K, you're out $15K, deal with it, bro. That's on you. Like, hopefully, what? I can't even say hopefully, because if you get found out, I'm pretty sure you're blackballed. You're fucking done for.
No, you're going to jail.
No, yeah. So, so like, sorry, but not sorry, bro. Like, for those that didn't fucking kill people, thank you for your service, but like, you did the shit and you kind of have to deal with it.
That's why I do your research. Yeah. Final thoughts is, whenever you're going to school, do your research. Make sure your schools are accredited, so that way you're not losing your money, your time, and your investment. As you can see, it is very dangerous out here. Scams are real. Corporate scams and all.
Mm-hmm. Final thoughts. The good thing is they know the schools. They got all the students accounted for. Yeah. That's a problem we can fix.
Exactly.
Deja says, motherfucker, do the time. Just go to school, right? If you're willing to go to jail for this shit, nigga, you could have just went to school, bro.
Right.
So I will say this. We want to thank you guys for basically coming on the show. You know what I'm saying? Participating with us. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button.
Hit that bell icon for the notifications.
You know what I'm saying? Where can they find you, Ben?
Yo, you can find me on Instagram, Sir Zaniel. Find me on YouTube, Sir Zaniel Benjamin, the Slobberly. You can find the podcast on Instagram, 1424 Podcast. Same thing with TikTok. Maybe, do we have a Facebook page? We have a Facebook page, same fucking name. Where can they find you, Nate?
Natalie_01 with 2 I's and 2 E's.
Ooh, no hesitation. Where can they find you, love?
T-Ostomy, TEA_OSTOMY. That's on any platform.
And you can find your gearhead at Logic142 at Instagram, yo. You already know what time it is. We want to say thank you with love and respect, yo. This is one thing for sure.
Two things for certain, baby. Let's fucking go. Maybe women aren't bad.